Thank you for checking out crypto.chartguys.com, the source for technical analysis in the cryptocurrency world. We are proud to announce our own crypto alert system designed to give you the most critical technical trading information possible no matter where you are. Keep your eyes on the market with mobile or email alerts for MACD crosses, RSI levels, and even inside bar alerts for dozens of coins across multiple exchanges. New features and proprietary ChartGuys indicators are already in development. Our alert system is very easy to customize and utilize, so don't hesitate to sign up for the most effective crypto trading tool on the market at crypto.chartguys.com. Hello, crypto friends. Hope you're doing well. We're going to be looking at Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and BNB, who continues to run. And we're going to be looking at the follow-through of the pattern that we've been highlighting, the potential inverse bullish reversal head and shoulders pattern. First, we're going to start on the daily time frames. Bitcoin. So while we got the bull break on the 4-hour time frame, absolutely, we're not changing any trend on the daily time frame anytime soon. So we have to keep that in our minds and not let ourselves focus on just a certain time frame. We have to keep perspective of all the time frames. So you look at the 4-hour chart and you say, wow, the bulls are really strong. Nice move. Then you look at the daily chart and say, wow, we're not going to change this trend anytime soon. We're going to set a lower high on this bounce. Exponential resistance, the 12 and the 26 period, rejected one bunch of times, 2 separate occasions, and we're testing it now again. So the bottom line is we are going to set a lower high on the daily time frame, and in order to change this trend on the daily time frame to begin to favor the bulls, we have to be looking for a lower high, consolidation to form a higher low, and then continuation to a higher high. If you'll remember back a couple weeks ago, we were looking for the exact same thing in the reaction to the G20 bull news. We had the bull move. It's not going to change the trend. We did break the lower high pattern. We're looking for a higher low. We have our bullish reversal candlestick. We saw no follow through. We did not get the higher high. The bears took back over. We have not seen a daily higher low and higher high since the capitulation bounce from the upper 5,000 range, where we did get a little mini higher low, higher high there. Ever since our top of this bounce, it's been lower highs and lower lows on the daily. Like I said, we did break the lower highs here, but we never formed the higher low and higher high to confirm the trend change. That's what the bulls need on the daily time frame. That's what more cautious bulls are waiting for. And if you have big money and you're a swing trader, you're not touching Bitcoin until that happens on the daily chart, because any entries at this point, you're still in the daily downtrend. So that is what needs to happen. We're watching for a bullish MACD cross. The RSI is bouncing right off of 30. So the 4-hour time frame, let's go back and review this pattern where we had our left shoulder, the head, the right shoulder ended up being very small. It ended up being essentially a bull flag on the 4-hour time frame. But what was the signal is the break of the lower highs. So we had the left side of the shoulder was a resistance. The right side was a lower high remaining intact. The bull break occurred at 7,100 and it confirmed with the break of 7,200. And here we are making our way to 7,500 plus. So a really nice multiple percent opportunity on this bull break. And you see a lot of people who aren't familiar with technical analysis saying, you know, what's the news? Why are we up today? And in reality, you don't need any news. It's a technical break. We broke the lower highs. We had 4-hour lower highs on the daily time frame in place for the last week in a row. So when you break that pattern, bulls make note of it. Bulls enter positions and bears cover their positions. I'm getting some Fidelity alerts here. Fidelity, my stock trading platform. They're talking about crypto again. And one thing that really makes me grind my teeth, as I just said, is the cryptocurrency market looks green once again. The death cross for the Bitcoin price failed miserably. That's just so inaccurate. There's no bear signal once those moving averages cross. As I said in other videos, that signal, you can see it coming weeks away. And it's just letting us know that we're consolidating on the daily time frame. And the fact that this market analyst, or whatever his chief market analyst, the fact that he thinks that the price is going to drop once those moving averages actually touch, when in reality the market has been able to price in the death cross for weeks and weeks, is just how is this guy telling us anything on Fidelity? How did he get his job? And who conducted that interview? Anyways, just the fact, I just wanted to point it out that Fidelity stockbroker here is talking about crypto again because of this bounce. So there's also rumors, you know, people talking about whales looking for 6-figure, 7-figure OTC opportunity to buy Bitcoin. Again, those are all, that's something worth noting. And I say, okay, cool, good to know. But unless I see things on the chart, that doesn't matter to me. So 4-hour bull break, absolutely. Daily chart, a lot of work to do. And it's going to be days before we change the trend because we need a couple days of consolidation, and then we need a couple days of continuation before we see that trend change, and that's the ideal scenario for the bulls. So where we stand on the 4-hour chart, bulls are still in control. The last higher low, I'm looking at 7,265. That's the last support level that we have here nearby on this 4-hour time frame. So I'm removing our resistances and I'm putting in our highest support that we're looking at. And we can see it more clearly on the hourly. And the bulls did a pretty good job of holding these hourly higher lows where we maintained higher lows, and then we saw our bull break. Look at the volume associated with that bull break. A lot of stop buy orders set up with that point. And now we're looking at the hourly chart of support here. I don't know how I got to dash. Press the wrong button. Let's go back to Bitcoin. So there's the hourly higher low. So that's the level the bulls want to maintain. Same thing though. Bitcoin did maintain its hourly higher lows, the big bull volume spike. And here is now the key support, 7,265. If we lose that level, that will increase the odds that the daily chart has set its lower high for now, and we now need to consolidate and form a daily higher low. In order for the daily higher low to form, we are going to have to lose the hourly higher low pattern. So it's a bit of a contradictory statement. We want the bulls to stay strong. Losing the hourly higher low pattern is usually a red flag and a bearish signal, but it has to happen for the daily chart to form the higher low that we need in the attempt to change the daily trend. So that's where we stand on Bitcoin. Bearish reversal, gravestone doji, confirmed. Still no red flags with the bear volume. And again, the bulls are still in full control as long as the hourly higher lows hold. So not looking for any kind of bear break anytime soon, maybe in a few hours later tonight. If we lose the higher low pattern, that will be noteworthy. But until that happens, bulls maintain full control on this bounce as long as 7625 holds, or 7265, excuse me. Next, we're looking at Ethereum. Ethereum on the daily time frame has the resistance to be watching. The high on GDAX from that little short squeeze was 438.50. We're approaching that resistance level. Bullmac decross ready to go. RSI finally getting off of oversold after being there for so long. And we are looking at, again, we need to form a higher low and higher high. It's as simple as that. When's the last time that Ethereum did that? Again, the capitulation bounce gave us a little higher low and higher high. It's been lower highs and lower lows for over a month since then, about 6 weeks. So key resistance, if we don't break 438.50, it's just a lower high. Even if we do break that level, we will still need a higher low and higher high to be confident in the daily trend change. Litecoin is the lead bull by far, no comparison. There's a couple reasons for this. Number one, technically speaking, we had a daily higher low that held. Everybody else, Bitcoin and Ethereum, dropped down to a lower low. So it was already one step ahead of the game on changing the trend to favor the bulls because that support held. Number two, there's potential that we had a bullish reaction to some news, and just trying to remember here on Twitter what I'm looking for. So here it is on Twitter. Abra. Litecoin surges after the CEO of an American Express-backed company chose chose Litecoin. Moving away from Bitcoin for smart contracts. Litecoin smart contracts. So that was a definitely catalyst as well. But the bottom line is Litecoin is in full control of the bulls. The same thing though. We're not breaking this downtrend. Lower high on the daily is 175.50. That's not going to break anytime soon. In order to break the trend, we're going to have to set a lower high on this bounce. We're going to have to set a higher low and a higher high. It sounds repetitive, but that's because everybody's so strongly correlated and everybody's doing the same thing, just to different degrees of strength. The 4-hour time frame for Litecoin, again, the bull signal here on all of these names has given some really nice follow through on the bull break of that head and shoulders pattern where we broke the 4-hour lower highs for the first time in a significant amount of time. Bull break on Litecoin, 121.62 was the signal. As soon as that broke, huge follow through. We bounced over $16 from that point. So essentially an $8 bounce just from that bull signal, breaking the 4-hour lower highs. Ethereum saw the same kind of follow through, not as significant, but the break of the lower highs was the bull signal. And when we saw the bull volume come in and follow through with that as the technical reason for the bulls to see continuation into today. So where Litecoin stands, we're consolidating. Not surprising. It's a bull flag at this point. Current low, We're down at the low. There's no support nearby. So we're going to form an hourly higher low, likely around the 130 mark. Looking at the 5-minute time frame, oversold RSI on the 5-minute time frame would be a nice possible bull flip for a short-term trade. When you're in a very strong bullish uptrend and you hit that 5-minute RSI oversold for the first time, you usually get a significant solid bounce from that point. So potential that we could drop down to 130 and get that 5-minute RSI oversold, but we will look for an equilibrium on the hourly. We'll look for a higher low to be established, then we'll look for a potential lower high. It's important to note that it's always, like I said, every trade that I make, I'm watching Bitcoin as my benchmark on the decisions I'm making. It's the same thing for everything. So if Litecoin, look how overbought we got. The hourly RSI up at 87. When's the last time that's happened? Scroll back on Litecoin, hourly RSI over 80. That hasn't happened since mid-February on that capitulation bounce that we saw. So it's very notable. The bull volume is very notable. Why didn't we pull back? You know, we have the alert system sending out oversold or overbought climaxes because the RSI is so high and the volume is so high. Why didn't we pull back? And the answer is because Bitcoin is nowhere near that overbought. And we have a direct correlation to Bitcoin that is favoring the bulls. So essentially, this is just a rough, an analogy. One step forward on Bitcoin, when you have a very bullish reaction with your correlation to Bitcoin, you're going to be taking 2 steps forward. So every 1 step forward that Bitcoin took, Litecoin took 2 steps forward. And while Bitcoin's RSI didn't get too extended, Litecoin's RSI got very overextended, but it was able to maintain those levels and see continuation from those levels because it was continuing to track Bitcoin, which again, did not send off any overbought climax alerts. So that was the reason, in my opinion, that Litecoin's RSI was able to get overbought. Again, a little bit of volume or a little bit of news as well. When we know there's news involved, RSI levels can get more extreme. But that's what I'm looking at for why Litecoin was able to run so hard and ignore the overbought RSI indications. So we're looking for healthy consolidation, and Litecoin is the clear leader heading into tonight and into tomorrow. But same thing, we're looking at the daily exponential resistances and a lower high to be set. Whether that lower high is going to be set today or tomorrow, I cannot say. It all depends on whether these hourly higher lows are able to be maintained or not. Checking in on Binance, which has been extremely strong. Look at that continuation. Increasing bull volume. Want to be a little bit cautious here. This is a bearish reversal spinning top candlestick forming on the daily time frame. There's an upper wick and a lower wick, which shows indecision. Indecision at the top of a bull move favors the bears. It's essentially saying, okay, the bulls have been in control for so long. If you're seeing indecision right now, why are the bulls slowing up? So if we see a break of the 4-hour higher low pattern, that will tell me that the daily higher low, the daily top is in for now. I'm looking at support down here of 16.8, and the bulls are going to likely form a higher low on this 4-hour consolidation currently ongoing compared to that level, and then we'll have a new support level to be watching. Resistance is up at 18.88. And in terms of resistance after that, we're at all-time highs. So 19 and 20 will be the next levels we're looking at. So congrats to the BNB bulls. Daily chart is on absolute fire. The daily chart definitely needs to consolidate. We had 4 bull days, consolidated for 5 days. Now we have 5 green days, and we'll likely consolidate in the near-term future to cool off a little bit. If we don't lose those 4-hour higher lows, the bulls remain in absolute full control. Just like Bitcoin, if we don't lose the hourly higher lows, the bulls remain in absolute full control. So key supports, bottom line is the bulls are in control right now. Daily charts are not changing the trend anytime soon. If you're not in positions, you can be looking to add on daily consolidation. And again, the trend isn't changing for multiple days at this point. It's likely going to take 3 or 4 days at a bare minimum for daily consolidation, support to be established, and then continuation and follow through, changing the daily trend. So that's where we stand. Congrats to any bulls that were able to capture these gains. Congrats to the bulls that entered on the bull break and confirmation of the inverted head and shoulders pattern on the 4-hour time frame and the break of the 4-hour lower highs that we've been watching day after day after day. So for good things, need to always continue to do good things. Someone commented on the other video, and I'm definitely a big proponent of smiling. It's very simple. Just smile at people. And this rings true for me, where I came from Massachusetts. I grew up in Massachusetts, up in the north, and it's not as friendly as an environment as the South. I went to school down in the South in North Carolina, and the most notable changes for me were, number 1, people held the door for you. Number 2, people don't lay on the horn if you don't accelerate instantly when the light turns green. And number 3, people smile at you and make eye contact when you're walking by. That was very new to me. Everybody in Massachusetts and Boston just puts their heads down. If I don't know you, I have no reason to connect with you. Whereas in North Carolina, it's more like, hey, you're a human being too, and we're in this moment together. Let's enjoy life. So smile at people. It makes a difference. It can brighten someone's day up. An extreme case, read about someone who, I don't know if they ended up committing suicide or not, but they left in their suicide note that, if one person smiles at me on my way, I won't do it. And it can make all the difference in the world. So that's free, and it doesn't take much effort at all. And eye contact and a smile goes a long way. Try it out. See what happens. Appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow.